Okay guys, this is Woody back with you. We're on the second part. This is my gray fox that I caught at the end of the year, and I've had him in the freezer and just not getting around to fleshing him. And on the first video I showed you about taking the cartilage out of the ears. Now if you're going to send your fur off, you need it on canines, you need to take that cartilage out of the ear so you won't have spoilage around that fur at all. Your fur will be coming out. But we got this one, and of course with my stuff, I'm not going to be able to send it off anyway, so I'm going to tan it, so it really wouldn't matter to me. I'm not going to use the head anyway, but for the benefit of the film of showing this, I went ahead and took the cartilage out of one ear. I already had it out of one to save time, but it took me long enough to get the other one out to keep the ear whole. But anyway, we're gonna get into the fleshing part, so let's see if we can get that started. Now with fleshing, they want you to leave the membrane on these fox, but I'm not going to send mine off, so I'm going to get as much of this fat and stuff off here as I can. Now right around these eyes, you'll see that there's a good amount of skin right here, meat. So I'm going to try to get this off so you won't have a lot of spoilage on it. I'll work that down. I'll take my knife, get as much of this off as I can. Be careful when you're doing this around his head, because the skin is thin there. Matter of fact, the skin on the fox is real thin anyway. So one thing to remember on these fox when you're working with them is the fact that skin is so thin, and you don't want to stay in one area when you're taking the fat off of these things. Kind of go around so you won't burn that hair, burn the hide, and your hair will start falling out. As you can see, if you take small cuts, you can work this meat right down. Just be careful with it. So you won't cut into the hide. I caught four of these gray fox, and this was the last one. I had him in the freezer. And like I said, I use this clamp to kind of clamp mine down and hold it in place. And most of this fat, I don't know I've had him in the freezer, so I don't know if it's going to push or not. We're going to see. As you can see, this fat's rolling right down. It don't take much on a fox to get the fat off of him. A little shot hole right there. You have to be careful when you're working over stuff like that so you won't tear your hide. What I do, I work mine down to where I kind of get uncomfortable there, then we'll turn. As you can see, there's a little bit of cheap meat there. We're going to try to work down a little bit. I'm going to have my shirt smelling good. I started my video and I forgot to put my apron on, but that's all right. That's what they make washing machines for. My wife won't like it, and I walk in. What is that smell? I tell her, just cool it, I'll get rid of it. As you see, we work this cheap meat down. We start pushing our fat again. Where my camera is, I don't know if you're getting all this or not, but hopefully you can see. Alright, get our clamp on here again. As you can see, this fat just keep rolling your fat down. You have to stop and clean your knife every now and then. Alright, I always go all the way around on my hide. That way I ain't got a whole lot of stuff on my beam there to get on the hide. And you can see we just keep rolling it down. Pick it up, move it around. These fox had a lot of fat on them. They've been eating good. Probably the one that got my chickens. I had 5 or 6 chickens out there in the pen, and foxes got 2 of them. That branch that I was trapping kind of goes up behind my house up there, so maybe I got them. I like to kind of work these back and forth so I'm not in one place all that long. Now, I think this was a male. On your females, you have to watch for your tips on the bottom so you won't pop them. Pop them, you're gonna make a hole in your hide. Just keep working your hide around. Take a little time, but that's all right. I'm not the fastest in the world at this, but I take my time, see if I can do it right. As you can see, we just keep working it down. It's the same process over and over. Working it around and around. The rag here. Yep, my wife's gonna like that. I had some vinyl seat cover material that I had left over, and I made the seat cover to go on my son's Jeep. And I made me an apron, but if you don't put it on, it don't do that good, does it? Now, as you can see, we're getting down to the ends here where I'm pushing this flesh off the hide. I'll make sure you go all the way down with it. Get this out of the way. This is where I begin to get some on my board here. If you can, try to keep that board as clean as you can so you won't be getting this fat and flesh all over your hide, inside of your hide. It's called slippage. Sucker had a lot of fat on him, as you can see. Just keep pushing that until you get all that membrane off of it. Keep your board clean. I'll go through a bunch of towels here. Alright, let's turn it a little bit more. You got a little bit of freezer burn on them ends, but I can cut that off. Trim that off of there. Keep your board clean. Just keep turning your hide. Okay, we get around to the tail. On your tail, you want to be careful with your tail so you won't cut it. You want to make a side motion to each side. Just a little bit more. These long tails. A little old board, I got to get me a wider one. It's kind of hard to find this stuff. They want too much money for it. But once you go to side, then you can come back, go right down the center. There's a little bit of membrane in that center. Fell off my board there. All right, there we have it. That'll do it, folks. The next one will be boarding, so I'll get back with you on that. Squat down. This is old Woody signing out for today, and I'll get back with you on the boarding part of it. Have a good day.